kind of went backwards on that one.
Yay.
My bad, y'all. Welcome to another East County Voices. We're your hosts. Well, hostesses. We got Mary, we got Patty, we got me, and we got somebody else, but they're not here yet. So welcome in and tune in, grab a chair and your favorite beverage.
Got a new one tonight.
What do you got? What is that?
Something healthy. It's called Coke soda.
Oh.
Some healthy.
Okay.
Zero sugar.
Okay. Nice.
What y'all got? We're drinking water. It was hot today. It was extremely hot.
I was inside most of the time, so I don't know how hot it was, but I kept coming outside because I was freezing. Not to rub it in or nothing, but
outside.
Yeah.
I see, Mary, you're outside.
Yeah, I'm putting my chickens away.
Nice.
Oh, I love chickens.
I
do too.
I love your chickens. Yours. I love your picture.
Your chickens are the bomb.
They are.
Yeah, can I just tell you guys something that was amazing that happened this week that just made me so happy?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I dipped in over at Miss Leslie's house to bring her some eggs. Mm-hmm. And her granddaughter had a puppy. And he's about 9 weeks old, and he's the cutest damn thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And its name is Pops. That's my dog's name. Mm-hmm. It's the same as my. It's a twinsy name. Hey, ladies, you need to go to bed. Here, say hi to the Carlos Taco Show.
Wrong name.
Sorry.
I know, right? I'm still getting used to it too.
What, the chickens?
No, the East County Voice is not Carlos Taco Show no more.
Oh yeah, I'm getting used to it also. Hey, how was your week? What civic events happened this week?
Do we do updates? Yeah, let's do that.
Check this out.
Been a lot.
Bang.
Hello.
Greetings, Olga.
Happy Thursday. We were just about to talk about updates and civic things going on in our community, so we can do that real quick, and introductions after. Okay, what do we have, Mary? Just cause for eviction next week on Tuesday. Yay! Hopefully we get it for the people, because families were getting unjustly evicted during the school year and leaving folks in vulnerable positions. But having this policy is a big win for the community. Forums are coming up. NAACP is holding some forums. Mary, I think you're frozen. And in Martinez.
Oh, wait, hold on. Go ahead, keep going.
Where else?
There she is.
What about y'all? Do we have any updates, Mary? What do we have? Civic stuff.
I sent out the emails to all the candidates here in Antioch, and we need to come up with a good list of questions, and I need to respond to some of the candidates that have responded to me.
Nice.
I got the quick reply. I got one of the mayor candidates. I got 2 District 3 candidates, and I didn't check the email today, but I really need to.
Hey, Jenny. Hey, Sean.
Hi, Sean.
That's what's up. I love it. Okay, Carlos, what about? Oh, there was a car show today locally in Pittsburgh.
Oh, the last one too. So what everybody does is, and they have a bunch every like other Thursday in Pittsburgh downtown, and everybody always says the same thing. We go to the first one and we go to the last one. So that's what they did. Everybody showed up, and full of. I didn't go, but I already know because everybody was calling me. Are you going? Are you going? And I was like, nah, I'm not going. It was hecka hot. And then this weekend we got some car
So
shows.
did you go to the school board last night?
I was
Go to where?
confused. I don't think there was a school board last night. But speaking of school board, we can ask Olga. We can do some quick
Olga.
Yeah, let's intro. Hey everyone, thanks for y'all that are tuning in and taking time out of your busy Thursdays, Thursday Junior. We like to have these community conversations and talk about amazing people, happenings, and things going on in our community. So that's me, Patty, mommy, advocate, creator, digital, all that stuff. And we have Mary, amazing mama, creator.
Oh, overwhelmed mama. I'm not a creator.
You're a.
I guess I created some kids.
Created humans. Yeah.
I did. I created humans.
Love it. Carlos? Who is
Yeah.
El Carlos? Carlos is an amazing person. Our tech support gets us connected.
Homeless advocate.
Homeless advocate. Prayerful.
He has visions.
Yeah.
Idea maker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, welcome, Olga.
Good friend.
And then we
And
got
when we have
Olga.
videos to watch, I think that meeting at the city.
Mm-hmm. I think you're cutting out, Mary. Is it just me?
No, I think I'm cutting out too because you guys disappear.
Mm.
And then every
Okay.
time I disappear, I hear you say, "Welcome, Olga."
Okay, well, Carlos is coming in here and Olga's coming in. But you are too. We're here and happy to learn about just community leaders and what they look like. What is it? What does it mean to lead? Because we do have elections coming up. But aside from that, we have a community member here today, Ms. Olga Smith, that I've seen at multiple school board meetings. I believe city council.
Oh no.
Olga cut out.
No.
The first time I met Olga, though, was at one of those meetings, and she went up and spoke. There's a lot of people that find their voices in these spaces. It's hard to get up there and speak, like in public comments at city council, board of supervisors, school board. It takes courage. It takes something to step out of your bubble or whatever. But I remember that night, there was a night that Miss Olga stepped up and she said, "Hey, I've never done this before, but I feel I need to." And I was really inspired that night. I was like, that's awesome that there's these happenings, and then there's folks that feel something in them that they want to speak up on whatever it is. So
Right.
that's what
She'll
it
be
takes.
back.
Yeah, but she is running for something in the school board, and the school board is under like a revamp. The quality, the resources available, and in the Antioch Unified School District. To all the parents out there, if you're a parent in the city of Antioch, there's this amazing organization that's called Bay Area Community Resources, and they provide the after-school program for the kids ages like, I think it's just elementary. There's also the Bridge to Builders that are offering some kind of services on campus, and they did like a summer camp. They're going to do a fall camp. So there's these nonprofit folks that are providing these resources that weren't there when my son was in first grade. So, kindergarten 2 years ago. So 2 years ago, I asked for an after school program, and I was told, "Oh, we've never had that here." And that was it. And I was like, I was a little discouraged, but then shortly after, boom, there's this nonprofit. And so for the parents out there, if you go to your school campus, your kid's school campus in Antioch, look out for a flyer. Usually the flyers are in their offices or on the door. It'll be taped up somewhere, but it helps a lot, especially for those single mamas.
Uh-oh. Now she froze. I guess you and Mary taking
It's got to be
turns.
a bad internet night.
Right? And I'm the one with one bar.
I got all my bars.
Yeah. And the freaking.
I think it's the heat.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's the heat. So
Come
you're going to
on.
talk about tents for tacos when that's coming
Yeah.
up? Why it moved?
Right? October 19th. Well, yeah. Let's talk about that.
So tents for tacos is an ongoing thing that we've done for 3 years.
Here's the flyer.
Is it your brainchild? Is it your brainchild, tacos,
What's that?
Carlos? Did you come up with tents for tacos? Was that your idea?
No, I had mentioned tents and I had mentioned tacos, and I was like, and then Rika from the Share Portable Showers community, she was
Mm-hmm.
like tents and tacos. I was like, oh my god, it was so easy. I didn't even think of that. I can't take the credit for it, but yeah. So yep, that'll be October 19th, and Patty, you're back, and here's the flyer. It's on our Facebook.
And this year it's not at COC. Where is it at now?
It's going to be at Golden Hills Church in I guess I want to say Antioch, but it's Brentwood. It's right there off of Lone Tree across from Lumpy's. Shout out Lumpy's.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, October 19th, 11 to 3. It's going to be a car show. We're going to have motorcycles there. And then we'll be cooking away tacos to raise money for the homeless. Now, the tacos are going to be $3 each. But if you bring, go in your garage, if you have a blanket, a nice one, don't bring no holy raggedy. Look, bring like a Mexican blanket. Bring a Mexican blanket. Bring a sleeping bag if you got a sleeping bag, or if you have an extra tent, bring a tent. And then of course, the tarps, like a 10 by 10 or bigger, because when it rains, some of those tents aren't waterproof or weatherproof, so they have to put the tarp on it for the rain to go off. But
can I ask you?
I said all that to say, you bring all that in and you get $1 off, so that'd be $2 a taco.
So I know you guys are always.
And she froze. We're always what?
You guys are always looking for men's pants. Can they bring in men's pants and get tacos off, get dollars off? I mean, I swear every time I'm there, I'm like, what do you guys need? You're like, men's pants.
So here's the thing. They can bring in pants up until before. We're not doing clothes that day. We have another outreach that we do on Tuesdays and Saturdays with another nonprofit organization, and we're downtown. He does Sacramento, then he comes down over here to Antioch, and then he goes to Pittsburgh and then Concord. So he stays busy. We'll have him on the show. We'll have him on here, and then you guys can get I mean, the guy's amazing. He literally had cancer, like the size of a golf ball, coming out the side of his head, and he got surgery done. And then the day of his surgery, he was finished early in the morning, so he came over to Antioch to feed the homeless. He had a big old bandage; it's all bleeding on the side and everything. I was like, man, but it's hard.
He talked at the city council that night too.
He sure did. Yeah.
Is that him?
Yeah,
okay.
Danny. Yeah.
Wow.
He sure did. So we want to welcome. We got some people showing some love on here. Kay, Camila, Dina, Selena.
Welcome.
Vicky
Well,
thank you for the love,
we wait for Olga. We could talk about the houseless. What happened the other day?
Real quick, the name of the nonprofit that he does, thank you, is called American River Homeless Crew. You're going to be hearing a lot of that in Antioch and Pittsburgh. Trust me.
You know the positive vibes things, Patty, just so you know. Camilla is all about those positive vibes, who we just said hi to in the chat. Every day she tells me peaceful risings, and it just melts my heart. like every day, I'm just so happy to get my little message.
Yeah.
So there's some positive vibes. She's really helped me a lot through all my grieving.
My cousin's showing some love.
It's definitely a healer.
Love you, prima.
Definitely a healer.
Thank you.
We need a lot of that. I'm going to email the link to Olga. 1 second.
Are you gonna text her or email or where are you? Oh, amen. My family, gotta love them. I'm all the way in the Bay Area. Everybody else is back home in LA. From the Bay to LA, baby. We got this. We got this.
I have hella family in LA too.
Right? And I got
Out
family out
there.
here. I got family over there. You know, it's just a huge family. So there goes Mary. Okay, wait. Look. Come on, Mary. There she is. We're just having fun tonight, man. Technical difficulties all night, baby. It's okay.
All night.
We're gonna get through this and get out. I hope I don't go off though, because I don't know if it'll stay on. I'm the one controlling all the doohickeys and whatchamacallits over here. So all these buttons
Mine is going off because I have to sit outside. My kids are inside watching TV.
Oh, look at drum
And
roll.
it's really, really loud.
Bam.
I am so sorry. You know
Uh-huh.
what? I am going to try to still log on to a computer because the only way I could figure out how to log on, because I have a Mac, but I also do have a PC. So I'm trying to convert to my PC, but I've never used StreamYard. So that meant I had to download everything. So I'm so sorry. I should have checked what technology.
I apologize. I should have said something like, "Hey, it needs to be on Chrome."
Yeah, it needs to be on Google Chrome.
Oh.
My bad.
Sorry. Tech support. Do you want to text me your email, Olga, and I'll shoot you the link?
Yeah.
Okay.
And there goes Mary. There goes Olga. Oh wait, I'm not sure.
Oh,
so technical difficulties all night because I cut out, Mary cut out.
It's all good. We're gonna have fun tonight, though.
Carlos holding it down like always.
With my one bar, my one. Look, it was 2, now I went back to 1 because I said that. All right, I'm kidding.
It's the heat. The heat's cooking up our satellite.
Shout out Jackie for tuning in.
Hey.
We love you too. We love you too.
I'm back.
All right,
love you too, Jen.
Olga. StreamYard. Set. Okie dokie. Listo.
All right, we're good. We got the emails all straight. Like we couldn't have did this earlier. But
I'm so excited, y'all. We have oh my gosh, Carlos, remember a long time ago I told you, oh, there's this amazing woman, like she has books and a bookstore, and because I know you do a lot of books and you have a book club, and then so she's the one that I had, like it had to have been like 6 months ago, a year ago, I don't know how long ago it was. But recently there was the multicultural festival and Olga was there as well with like her whole setup of books and definitely.
Welcome back, Mary.
Hey Mary, welcome back.
You know what, you guys, is it okay if I just do this from my phone? Because I was trying to get on the computer and so it still didn't come through. The email still didn't come through. And let's just move forward. We're wasting everybody's time if we don't.
No, you're all right. Are you on an iPhone?
Yeah. Can you guys see me?
Yeah. If you're on an iPhone, you can download StreamYard app. It's just
but it's fine how it is, I think.
Yeah,
I think I'm actually in the app. Because in order to use this it made me download the app, but I downloaded it as a guest is what I did.
Yeah.
All good.
The StreamYard app is just for guests. It's not for like me, but it's for y'all. It's for y'all.
Oh, you know what? Your email just came through in my so I'm gonna try.
Okay.
See if I can do it real quick.
We'll give it a shot. In the meantime, I'll read a little bit about Miss Olga's bio. It's just a lot of amazing things, and I have questions. We want to learn. Tell us more, because it seems like, I mean, I know this for a fact, but just from the city council meetings and the school boards, more and more folks are coming through and very just articulate, very knowledgeable, very informed, and asking the right questions. And that's what I've seen with Olga here in multiple spaces. And so, yeah, I look forward to hearing about, once we get connected and we can get rolling on a bit about yourself, your values. Do you have kids? What inspires you? What made you want to even go for? Have you ever ran for a position? We'll go through all of that while you get connected. Mary's also a mama. We're all parents in the house. Shout out to the parents in the house. Shout out to the grandma and grandpas out there raising their grandbabies. Shout out to the aunties and uncles and godmamas and godpapas. Because parenting ain't easy, but when you have schools with quality resources, quality teachers, quality courses and teachers, and and by quality I mean like,
You know what? Let's just go ahead and move forward with me on my cell phone, because
Okay.
because it's still, now it wants to send me through some tutorial and
We're good.
get started, because
We are good.
started 20 minutes ago.
Woo! Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Let me tell you, did y'all see your flyers? Did y'all get the flyer in the mail? Did I get it in the mail, or was it on social media?
Did somebody?
What district are you running in, Olga?
What was that?
What district are you running in?
It's area 4. So it's let me pull up my website and I'll tell you like what neighborhoods that is. So I live up here in like the Mira Vista Hills area.
I believe Dr. Clyde Lewis is my representative, and I think I'm District 3.
Yeah, and there's another candidate running running there. There's 2 candidates.
Okay, so while you pull up your website, to our community folks out there are 2 big decision-making spaces in our little city of Antioch. We have the Antioch Unified School Board, and then we have the City Council. And in both spaces, there's about actually 5 electeds, and each elected official represents a district in Antioch, right? And while they're different meetings, different spaces, they both are accountable to us, the community, the parents, the people, to make our space, our home, our city just better for everyone, and just raise standards and quality of life for everyone, no matter what the status or living conditions or religious background or cultural or all of that. So pay attention. If you're not registered to vote, you can register now. Do some research into who your potential representatives can be. Anybody want to add on that, Mary Carlos?
Mary?
I'm still getting used to the districts for the Antioch School Board. I didn't start going until this year. No, last year, when we had issues with our IEPs not coming out on time, when they shifted, what are they called? Principals at the school. I guess they got filed in a cabinet at Deer Valley and lost.
Oh.
And they weren't found until after I came and spoke at the school board meeting. And it wasn't just me, it was multiple kids. So that's why I show up sometimes, because things like that need to be talked about. But I have no clue what district I live in for voting for the school district. I know that I'm in District 3 for the city council, but the lines aren't the same.
They're not, right? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not the same. And sadly, the only map I've seen for the school district one is on one of the hateful bloggers websites, and I just won't share that.
So if you go to my website, I posted it
Okay.
because a lot of people ask question as well. And so I also like put in there, if you go to my website, you'll also see like what districts I'm running in or which neighborhoods I'm running in. So I'm kind of like the schools, elementary schools that are in my are Belshaw, Sutter, Park is the middle school that's there. And then, of course, you know, once kids get to high school, then it's kind of a free for all depending on what track they pick. But should we back up a little bit? And like, did you guys actually introduce me yet? I know I was off for like 20 minutes. I'm not sure what you filled that space.
No, we said we've seen you at meetings and you're very intelligent.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I was at a meeting one time that I got a little chilly. I was so happy that you were calm but direct and stern. And I was like, ooh, that's what kind of parents we need. Because you've probably seen me at a meeting where I've lost it.
I haven't, but so we moved to so just a little bit about me. We are Antioch transplants. We came from San Francisco. My granddaughter did she went to kindergarten in San Francisco, and then her parents bought a house out here in Antioch in, I believe, 2016. So she did kindergarten out in the city, and then by first grade we were already out here. We had already reviewed the schools. We knew that there were challenges. We knew what we were getting into, but we had decided as a family that with, you know, all the extra support that my daughter had, that we would be able to keep her on track, and we did. My daughter was in the process of she was in school herself. She was at Toro getting her pharmacy degree, and so I would step in. Nurses, I was at the bedside working at CSF at that time, and nurses only work like 3 days a week, you know, so that gave me some time to be traveling back and forth. So I've always kind of kept my eyes on the school board, recognizing that our reading outcomes were so low here in Antioch. I started attending the school boards because I just wanted to see, like, what are they doing about it? Like, what's going on? And I think I quickly realized that there just really wasn't a lot being done about it. In fact, I was really shocked that, in my opinion, anyways, I didn't feel that they talked about it near as much as I would have liked focus on it. And so we just but at that time I was still working, so it was hard to be as engaged, and I was still living in the city, so most of my activities were in the city. And then about 2018, I came to live with them. They had always bought a house that was big enough for me to live here too. So I moved in with them from San Francisco, and then I was a commuter. So I was commuting back into San Francisco, and I continued to follow the school district. And then, you know, the pandemic hit and everything just kind of fell apart. And then got into junior, and it was at that point, I think the biggest catalyst for me to decide, like, somebody needs to step up and be the adult in the room, right? Because with all this harassment, the recent harassment that had been going on, it was I was just shocked when some trustees were cited in the newspaper as saying that the reason why they were not able to conduct the evaluation of the superintendent was because they did not have set goals. They couldn't set goals. And it was at that moment where I was like, I need to run. Like because I just couldn't understand how you could have a board that's your one job is setting goals, strategic goals for the district. And we didn't even have goals. So it just really stuck with me that it's like, well, then no wonder why we have no direction as to how we are improving our reading scores and getting things done. I became impassioned with literacy long before I came to Antioch. Health literacy is a big issue for the healthcare fields. We often have a lot of challenges, helping people understand like their health information. And so literacy is not a new issue. And even when I was in San Francisco, I would volunteer over there with reading partners because, some of the, kids have challenges all throughout California. I don't want to make it seem like Antioch is like this sole sore thumb in California because the outcomes are actually pretty dismal everywhere. But I just believe we can do better. I believe we can do better. I believe that our kids are teachable. I believe they can learn. And I believe that our teachers have the ability to teach them. I think maybe one of the things we may be lacking is that they don't have necessarily the tools that help them get the job done, right? The proper supports. And I think part of those supports come from the leadership of the district, meaning the board of trustees. And I believe that I have the tools to bring to that board to help move us forward in a way where we could at minimum have goals, right? At minimum.
At minimum.
Right.
Maybe count all of our students.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a quick comment about just to validate this, absence of something. There was at many school boards that I attended, there would be a superintendent's report. Many times, nothing to report, nothing to report, nothing to report. And so it's like, well, what is happening? So that was concerning. And then for me, like the catalyst was, what was it? Having counselors versus cops at a time when there was a lot
Oh
of
yeah.
stress. And ultimately, we ended up getting more counselors. I can vouch for that because we have the Bridge to Builders, I mentioned them earlier, that are in the spaces of the kids, of the youth, that they can relate to. We're Antioch's different. We have a lot to do, and just your energy and what you bring to the table, I think, is just really what's needed, because like there's been an absence of leadership, receipts of things, reports. I like data. I mean, we didn't have an audit for years. We needed an equity audit, and it happened finally.
Yeah. That was, brought that to us through a team out of San Diego, and we're still, in fact, we're actually finally working on goals that will be presented to the board for them to discuss. So who knows, if I win my election, I may show up to a board that has goals already. But if not, I'm also prepared to submit and to discuss, because that's where it starts, right? We have to all discuss around topics that are beneficial to our students. And I'm ready to do that. I'm ready to come to the table and be diplomatic and talk and work things out with people that maybe they don't share my views or they don't share my processes I think we have to learn how to give and take, right? For the benefit of our children.
And so I have a question about, because to be a leader and to be in this position, I mean, you do need to have some sense of drive. What have you been in any other kinds of like leadership positions? Have you served on any like committees or clubs or?
Yes. Absolutely. So, I'll be honest, like, I think the biggest leadership, what has given me the strongest leadership skills is actually working in the critical care, in the pediatric critical care area, because there, you know, I mean, you're making split second decisions that actually impacts the life that is right in front of you. And, you know, and this is like a little bit, this is more going, I like to tell people this is like going upstream, right? Because when you're in the ICU, it's right there in your face. What you do is going to immediately show you how it impacted the person that you're working with, right? But policy is like you go upstream and you're making big decisions, and it may take a little bit for you to really see the effects of what you're doing, right? So I really think that that most of my executive decision making skills and my ability to work under pressure has actually come from being in the critical care space as a nurse, as a pediatric nurse. But to answer your question, yes, I have been on committees. I've been on, you know, even within the institution, like in different hospitals that I've worked at, because, you know, as a nurse, we're kind of obligated. It's kind of part of your job. You have to, you know, pick committees and be parts of things, you know, different programs that we have that are improving our workspace. And then for the school specifically, I served on school site council for Antioch schools. And then I served on the ELAC committee, which is the English language. I can't remember the full acronym, but it's essentially the committee that oversees our ELD learning, our English language development learners curriculum. So those children who come into our school system and don't necessarily speak, or English is not their primary language at home. So another language is generally spoken at home. The most common is Spanish, but there's definitely others. I believe Farsi is a big one. Actually, even here in Antioch, I think we have a growing a growing population that speaks Farsi.
You are correct. Yeah, we came out of a war with Afghanistan. A lot of those families, because of their association with NATO allies or working or wanting to dress certain ways, they've become targets, and many are migrating and seeking visas. And I've written a few recommendations for a few of my friends from Afghanistan, and they're making it to the US. And I'm grateful that we live in a city that is welcoming of families from different spaces, and just building these communities is what matters. Any comments, questions? Mary, Carlos, y'all are kind of quiet. Are you?
Have my mic on mute. No questions. You're doing really good.
Okay, because I have another question.
Good, go.
And so this is really important. This is really, really important as a mother, as like a business, you know, entrepreneurial accountability perspective. Like, there was a big measure. It was a measure B or something, and it was going to be pretty much whoever was going to oversee it is now under investigation, I believe. So there needs to be, from the meetings that I've been to, they need a committee or something. I'm concerned that, like, oh my gosh, like, who's going to oversee that money? Because I feel like so much money wasn't spent correctly, or not really accounted for, just based on the resources that we didn't have, and the exclusivity of hiring practices that I've seen online where folks had applied and didn't get the job even though they were very qualified. Like, what is the measure? What is the measure B? Was it 1 million, 2 million, the bond that had to do with our education and our schools in Antioch?
I don't believe, I'm maybe wrong, but my understanding was they haven't fully doled out those. There's details. So yeah, so depending on how that goes, or whoever it may be the new board making those decisions. But one of the things that I'm strongly in favor of, if I end up when I end
And manifest the win.
exactly. So when I end up on the board, I definitely want labor agreements. I want the contractors who will be taking the jobs, who will be managing the jobs, to work with the unions and make sure that people from our local areas are getting those jobs, and that they're good paying jobs, and they have insurance, and they're properly trained. You know, that's what project labor agreements bring us. And so I'm definitely in favor of that. And we'll be advocating hard to make sure that happens.
That's amazing. Given the fact that you worked in like a medical field background, for me coming from military, I feel that medical spaces are next to, or like very close in alignment with federal laws, policies, safety measures. And so, and it's very complex, but you're gonna bring all of that experience essentially on how the operations go in a high and a stressful environment, and you're gonna be able to bring that and make connections. I totally see that. I'm excited that you can bring all of that experience in an educational space for our youth and for our community. Is there anything that's like that you feel would be the biggest challenge to tackle, or like the biggest? What would be one of the first things that you think, or top two things that you feel like, ooh, this is a priority. We need to ensure this.
So definitely the Measure B, oversight of the funds. Like you said, I'm not clear. My understanding was no Measure B funds have been spent yet. It's just we're in the process. So definitely, like you said, making sure we have accountability, making sure we can speak to where the money is, how it's being spent. Very close oversight on that. Because it is the board's fiduciary responsibility to make sure that those funds are spent appropriately, and making sure that the PLAs, the project labor agreements, are handled through our local unions. So that would be one, right? And then, but my number one, to me, the most important, why I'm running for this, is to get our reading rates up. It's ridiculous that only 2 out of 10 third graders are reading at grade level. And maybe ridiculous isn't really to me, it is ridiculous.
Shocking, unacceptable,
Yes, all the
ridiculous. Yes,
right.
it is.
I just don't even know how we got here. And like I said, again, I'm not trying to browbeat teachers. I'm not trying to point fingers, because honestly, if you look at schools across California, many have similar numbers. So it's not like Antioch is just this wild sore thumb sticking out, right? To me, it just is so bothersome because it's my community, right? It's where I live. These are our children. My granddaughter went through these schools, and so I just feel like, honestly, that our kids deserve better, our teachers deserve better, the support staff deserves better. And the reality is I know that there are other even states in the country that have figured out how to improve their reading scores, and they're improving their math scores, and they're improving their science scores, because learning to read is the fundamental to all of that, right? You can't teach somebody to do math if you can't even teach them to read, right?
Right.
They generally have to read the directions on how to do the problems, right? So, and I mean, and that's not to say that nobody can do math without reading, right? Like, there's very brilliant people out there. We know this, but it is fundamentals, right? It's the fundamentals of learning, and it's what all our children deserve. They deserve to learn how to read.
Yeah, I love it. Now, when you take part in leading the city and the school district, what do you think, what kind of support do you think the teachers and staff or faculty, what do they need support? I heard of a few disgruntled ones, but how would you envision making sure that the quality of environment and benefits and things are going for teachers to want to stay, or
Yeah, there's some aspects to professional development that definitely will be incorporated in some of the things that I've talked about. And let me just say right there that actually one of the beautiful things is that when I quote that statistics, that 2 out of every 10 children, that only 2 out of every 10 10 children in 3rd grade are reading at grade level. Some people will take that as if that's like a indictment of the teachers. And I think maybe even some of them may feel that a little bit personally, but the reality to me is that speaks to a broken system, right? That means the whole system isn't working. The whole system is trash. And when the whole system is trash, that's where I believe the buck stops at the top, right? And so we'll be hiring a new superintendent. And so that will be super important, that we are all on the same page with the improvements that we're trying to make and the philosophies that that we are that we share moving forward in our education system. And then too, we're going to have to be able to hire somebody that we can trust and give space to do the job that they need to do, right? Which is going to be a hard job. Because right now, not only are our schools performing poorly, but at the same time, our staff have been through this huge emotional roller coaster, right? So our incoming superintendent will definitely need probably the most support from the board. But some of the ways that I'm hoping to see the new superintendent support staff is just helping them get back to their why. Just, one of the biggest in healthcare, in nursing, we have a lot of burnout as well. And one of the things, some studies have shown that the greatest mitigator to compassion fatigue and burnout is compassion satisfaction. And compassion satisfaction was defined as being able to walk away from your job feeling like you did a good job, right? And so if we consider like what our outcomes are right now, like while people say, oh, you shouldn't talk about it, but the teachers know, right? It's like it's not a secret. Like they're in these classrooms and they're trying to support the children, but they obviously don't have the tools they need. So one of the first things I would like to see is like roundtables with teachers, just to hear them out, hear what their ideas are, because I also believe that those who are closest to the problem often have the solutions, right? And then also I would like to incorporate some of the techniques that were used in other areas of the United States that have improved their outcomes. In fact, one school, when I talk about this, I generally reference the Mississippi Miracle. You can look it up. Bring back PTAs. Absolutely. Absolutely. I just saw something that shot up. And yes, community engagement is a big one. And that is another thing that is high on my priority list. But just to get back to specifically like supporting teachers is just making sure that they feel valued, that they feel heard, that their ideas are being incorporated into the professional development that they choose, that they want. And then it will be looking at what other programs have done that have been successful and comparing it to what our programs are doing, what our schools are doing, and just working together as a team to see, where our gaps are and how do we move forward. And whoever said bring back PTAs, absolutely. My daughter was part of PTA, and it was actually a lovely experience in ways that we got to engage with the kids, but in other ways it was just very challenging in that quite frankly, sometimes we didn't feel welcome on campuses. And I know that I know we weren't isolated in that feeling, because we had several parents that approached us with similar concerns.
Gosh, it's so true. I just had a flashback of fourth grade, John Muir Elementary, Antioch. And I remember coming from, a little bit about my family. We got gentrified from Silicon Valley in the 90s. So we came to Antioch. But going into this school, there was this tech class with the Apple computers, the bright like blue and teal, and it was so cool and I was so excited, but I would get nervous every time I went in there because of the way the instructor made me feel. And she was older, she was Caucasian, and she made me feel like dumb. And I just remember being afraid to ask, like, hey, how do I, because I had never really played with the computer until we moved to Antioch. And that was in 1990. Maybe 90 or something. But I imagine that maybe that's still a theme where
So my kids have been in 3 different school districts. They've been in Antioch, which doesn't have a STEM program for their kids until they reach middle school, and then it peters out in high school again. And I don't know that all the middle schools have it. I think that Black Diamond Middle School might have been a pilot program for it, and I don't know what happened to it. But both of the other schools I went to were STEM schools, which are technology-based programs. And one of the things that I noticed differently in the 3 school districts was my oldest kids went to school in Martinez. And Martinez has gold ribbon schools. And inside each one of their classroom, they have smart boards, and the kids are learning like they're playing Jeopardy. So they're getting the ability to communicate their answers, whether or not they're speaking them or not, without being put on the spot. And I think that that's a huge part of learning. Where when we came to the Mount Diablo Unified School District, they definitely had a hierarchy of kids, which I didn't like, where they would have like the smart kids versus the kids that were struggling. And instead of doing it in a way that each kid was valued for who they were, it was kind of very separatist. And then I came to Antioch. Oh my God. They had paper and books, and that was it. There was no, and when I went to like back to school night, I'd come in and I'd go, well, you got this chart on the wall. Why does it say you're only on multiplication up to 6? This is the end of the year. Oh, that's my fault. We did something else. And I'm like, you did something else? My kid's going into 6th grade, which is like, beginning algebra concepts, and he can't multiply past 6. So there's a huge difference in how they structure the schools. And I'm going to tell you, the one thing that I noticed the difference is that in Martinez, the PTAs were strong. In Concord, the PTAs weren't as strong, but some of the schools had charter schools on there. And because of that, and those parents, the PTAs became stronger. And then they also had on-site, people that would go and talk like we do about how to use the funding, and when the funding comes here, how we're going to spend it at our school. And I thought that was very unique. And then I came to Antioch, and I said, "Where's your PTA? Where's your site council?" And they're like, "Oh, it's at 2:00 on Wednesday." And I'm like, how the heck am I going to be a parent at 2:00 on Wednesday? I'm thinking PTA is 7:00 at night, where it is everywhere else. So they make it so incredibly difficult for us. So that was one point I wanted to make. The other point that I wanted to make is Antioch has a lot of marginalized mothers and fathers here. mothers and fathers who may have a mark on their record, and it may not even be a bad mark, and they're not allowed to come into the classroom, which essentially eliminates the possibility of a PTA, and it eliminates the ability for their child to feel that their education is important. So I think that you should be allowed to come into the class after a review. Like if you say, I have a driving with my kid that didn't have a seatbelt on, and I didn't know they didn't have the seatbelt on, but that's still my mark. It was my responsibility. I'm being held accountable, but I'm coming into the classroom to read with the kids. I'm not driving them anywhere. I think that parent should be allowed in the classroom, and they're not. So those are a couple of things that I would like to see happen.
I love that. Thank you for sharing. Honestly, some of the work that we did with community boards. So essentially, what we did, we took NICU mothers, and brought them to a room and discussed some of the things that were happening in our spaces. And so I would love to that side leadership to our, so it's what you're saying, Mary, right? Is that
Mary?
Yeah, perfect. So exactly what you're saying, Mary, that we can get that parent voice at the table, hear things like this, and have open discussions about how we can do that to make both parties happy, right? Parents and I think having that it because you engage, find other, and you start to find that common ground between you, and there's not these huge chasms where you're just rolling in once during the school year for like back to school night or something like that. Like I think that I think those were the only times I remember being like truly welcomed on campus was back to school night.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, because here in Antioch, I feel like the first thing they do is shoo you off. They're like, oh, we can get the note, or, your kid did this, we'll call you later. They lost my kid at a book fair and didn't even call me.
Oh my God.
So there needs to be more parents there, because had there been a parents there volunteering for the book fair, they would have saw that my tiny little kid was hiding in the back corner reading, because somebody would have been patrolling.
I'm conflicted, y'all, because I know exactly what you're talking about, because I did go and I asked, hey, can I come and help out, hang out with my son? Because I remember back in the day you could do that. And the response was like, oh, no parents are allowed. And I was like, whoa, like how exclusive. Y'all want to make sure we're not here in your space, seeing how you're running things or something. That's how I felt. But I'm conflicted because my son's current teacher said, she needs help. And I was like, okay, well, what day? She's like, oh, you just need to go through the office and fill out a form and do like a background check or something. So all of a sudden that's available, like, does it depend on the teacher? And she's been there for like 20 plus years. So maybe she's allowed to do that and not I don't know. So I'm like,
it's really a strange environment in Antioch how they do it, because I've offered to, like at previous schools, I've picked up bundles of homework and corrected them and brought them back and sold the ice cream after school and was part of the school carnival and sat in the classrooms. I was told to please volunteer in the office because my daughter cried every time I left, but They never discouraged me. And Antioch is so different. And the difference that I'm seeing here is these are not gold ribbon schools, but these are gold ribbon kids. So why are they not getting the gold ribbon treatment?
Absolutely.
Anyways, I'm going to start crying now. That's kind of my thing I do on the show. I just love these kids so much. But thank you so much. I love it that you're coming from a point of a place where the value of the parent-child bond, and without that, how they can't succeed. And I love it that you're in a generational family and that you guys have really put it in the effort for your kid. And that alone for me speaks volumes, because what the heck is Gary Hack doing there? Sorry, but it's just one of those things where I scratch my head and I'm like, why is he up there? What's his value? But I see a lot of value in what you're saying and where you're coming from, even though it's not a traditional educational background. You're a nurse. You are educating people daily, every interaction you have with them. So thank you for running. Thank you for being that person to step up.
Yeah, literally. The kids need you, Olga. The parents, the kids, we need your leadership. And what I had mentioned earlier was when the first time I heard you speak at a school board, and you said, "Hey, I've never spoken up before, but I need to," and you just threw it down, and I was like, "Oh, there's a loving, caring parent." So yeah, thank you.
Well, just so you know, Patricia, you'll get to know me, and I speak all the time. I think what I was alluding to was that I didn't initially come to speak.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yes.
But just in hearing what was going on and what the topic of discussion was, sometimes, it just gets to be a little much, and you just have to press what you're feeling and what you're thinking.
Step up. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. We're at time. Thank you so much. As Mary said, we're excited to see your campaign. Oh my God, I love the picture. There's the picture of you, Adam Schiff. I'm a big fan of him because he held people accountable in spaces years before. Kamala Harris. I'm like, oh my gosh, like how exciting.
I'll be at the rally this weekend. So if you guys, any of you follow Mayor Lamar Thorpe, he is hosting the Unity Rally. I will be there sharing the stage with him. As you know, we're both endorsed California Democrats. And so I look forward to seeing everybody and engaging with people. Please visit my website, Olga's for the number 4 Antioch Schools 2024.com. And you can follow my.
Yes, we'll be following you along the trail. Can't wait to see you out there, and definitely we'll be making it out to Sunday's the Unity event. Definitely. Yay.
Where's that at?
It is going to be. I forgot.
368 Lone Tree. So it's right by Rayleigh.
Okay.
If you go to my page, I also have a page. If you go to my Facebook page or my website, you'll be able to find me there. The event price. It's called the Unity in Antioch.
I'm going to find it and I'll post it on our Facebook page so that we can share.
There you go.
Make sure you register, folks. You share it, register, support, donate to these amazing candidates that it's not easy. It takes time, energy, prints, more prints, banners, organizing. So please donate what you can.
Anybody's willing to knock on doors for us, that would be
knock on doors.
Patty loves that.
I do. I love getting my steps in. That's where I get my steps in. So if anybody wants to join,
on the other hand, I chicken out. I can make phone calls. I think I hit 8 houses before I was like, yeah, I'm having a panic attack. I gotta go.
Maybe we'll walk together next time. We'll schedule.
Okay, I can do that. I can do that.
We'll do it together. Awesome.
You can start with your neighborhood.
Good luck. And we're excited to see you as a new member of our trustees on the school board.
Yeah.
Because it's going to happen. Patty manifested it. It's going to happen now.
We're going to do it. We are.
Yep, you're going to do it.
Power. People power.
Remember that you guys have to love Olga Kobo-Smith if you see me on the ballot.
Yes, Olga Smith, y'all.
That's right. Well, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you, Olga, for being on the show tonight. Wow. That hour went by so quick, and I was like, wow, that's an hour already? But a lot of information there. lot to process. So for those of y'all out there, this is Olga, y'all. If you're out here in the Antioch district, you know, vote for her. You know, it's like she got all the experience. So like Miss Patty was breaking it down, you know. So with that, we'll be back again next Thursday, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And those, I got 4 computers in front of me right here. That's why when you watch the show I was going like this, answering everybody's questions and all that.
Go, Carlos.
If you're watching it on one of the YouTube channels, like and subscribe
And share.
And share. Yeah.
Share.
That's the only way we can get this growing. And if you're watching here on the Facebook, you know, make sure you tune in again next week. Oh, and then give me some hearts. Jenny, give me a heart right now on Facebook.
Love it.
Yeah.
Got my team out
All
here.
right.
All right. Thank you again for coming on. That was exciting. I love it.
Yeah, it was great.
All right.
We got some
Well, good
comments.
night.
Okay.
You want to close us out, Carlos?
Huh?
Is he going to close us out?
Yeah. So again, tune in again next week. I don't know. Who do we have next week?
I don't know yet.
We don't know yet.
We could have a whole bunch of people. We got emails coming in. You never know.
Yeah, from all the candidates. So yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll let you guys know.
Yes.
I'm gonna start putting it in the description. I haven't been doing that. It's just been saying tune in and see who we got because I want to like pique their interest, you know. But
Yeah.
it's all good. So thank you all again, Patty, Mary, Olga. I appreciate you guys. It wouldn't be East County Voices without all y'all. So good night, everybody, and we'll see you soon. God bless.
Thank you, Carlos. Good night, y'all.